Hi, my name is Presley Ganthier, and my poem is called "The Angelfish Greet Odysseus," and the author is Eisler Mascuera, and I'll begin. Angelfish perturb the area around pink gauze. Are the details of a threaded diamond string and its fake catacastic applause, like that of the angel-headed beast spreading its wings as if to swim under the light of the glowworm and hyacinth. The fish are oratory, and not the pulchritude of bombazine on a shattering geodial mid-afternoon. Dribbling from sea rock to splint, the wingtips are hardly bleak accoutrements. Their own swinging by the bay of a chest and a previous rock. Here we are stranded, pelagic with clot. And the fish burble with oratory, and I kind of like them a lot.
Giovanna Euclid, my poem's Across the Bay by David Dowie. A query thing about those waters. There are no birds there, or hardly any. I do not miss them. I do not remember missing them, or thinking it uncanny. The beach, so-called, was a blinding splinter of limestones. A quarry, outraged by holes. We took pleasure in that. The emptiness, the hardness of the light, the silence, and the water's stillness. But this was the setting for one of our murderous scenes. This hurt, and goes on hurting. A venomous, soft jelly, the undersides. We could stand the world, if it were hard all over.
Hi, I'm Marcos Eugenius. I will be reciting Abandoned Farmhouse by Ted Kuzer. He was a big man, says the size of his shoes, on a pile of broken dishes by the house. A tall man, too, says the length of the bed in an upstairs room. And a good, God-fearing man, says the Bible with the broken back on the floor below the window, dusty with sun. But not a man for farming, say the fields cluttered with boulders and the leaky barn. A woman lived with him, says the bedroom wall papered with lilacs and the kitchen shelves covered with oilcloth. And they had a child, says the sandbox made from a tractor tire. Money was scarce, say the jars of plum preserves and canned tomatoes sealed in the cellar hole. And the winter's cold, say rags in the window frames. It was lonely here, says the narrow country road. Something went wrong, says the empty house in the weed-choked yard. Stones in the field say he was not a farmer. The still sealed jars in the cellar said she left in nervous haste. And the child? Its toys are strewn in the yard like branches after a storm. A rubber cow. A rusty tractor with the broken plow. A doll in overalls. Something went wrong, they say. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Daisha Burdett. I'm in 11th grade, and I will be doing Acquainted with the Night by Robert Frost. I have been one, acquainted with the night. I have walked out in rain and back in rain. I have outwalked the furthest city light. I have looked down the saddest city lane. I have passed by the watchman on his beat and dropped my eyes, unwilling to explain. I have stood still and stopped to sound the feet. When far away, an interrupted cry came over the houses from another street, but not to call me back or say goodbye. And further still, at an unearthly height, one luminary clock against the sky proclaimed the time, neither wrong nor right. I have been one acquainted with the night.
Hi, my name is Clara Angeletti. My poem is Sheltered Garden by H.D. I have had enough. I gasp for breath. Every way ends, every road, every footpath comes at last to the hill crest. And then you retrace your steps, or find the same slope on the other side, precipitate. I have had enough. Border pinks, clove pinks, wax lilies, herbs, sweet crest, oh, for some sharp swish of a branch. There is no scent of resin in this place, no taste of bark. Of course weeds, aromatic, astringent, only border on border of scented pinks. Have you ever seen fruit under cover that wanted light? Pears, wadded in cloth, protected from the frost. Melons almost ripe, smothered in straw. Why not let the pear cling to the empty branch? All your coaxing will only make bitter fruit. Let them cling, ripen of themselves, test their own worth. Nipped, shriveled by the frost, to fall at last but fair with a russet coat. Or the melon, let it bleach yellow in the winter light, almost tart to the taste. For it is better to taste of frost, the exquisite frost, than of wadding and of dead grass. For this beauty without strength chokes out life. I want wind to break, scatter these pink stalks, snap off their spiced heads, fling them about with dead leaves, spread the paths with twigs, limbs broken off, trail great pine branches hurled from some faraway place straight across the melon patch. Break pear and quince, leave half trees, torn, twisted, but showing the fight was valiant. Oh, to blot out this garden, to forget, to find a new beauty in some terrible, wind-tortured place.
My name is Alyssa Houlis, and I'm reciting Quite Frankly by Mark Halliday. They got old. They got old and died. But first, they composed plangent depictions of what they lost and how much cared about losing. Meantime, their hair got thin and more thin, and their shoulders went slumpy. Okay, but not before the photo albums got arranged by them. Arranged with the niftiness, not just 2 or 3, but 18 photo albums. Yes, 18 eventually. 18 albums proving the beauty of them and not someone else. Them and their relations and friends incontrovertible. Playing croquet in that Bloomington yard. Floating on those comic inflatables at Dow Lake. Giggling at the Dairy Queen, waltzing at the wedding. Building a Lego palace on the porch. Holding the baby beside the rental truck. Leaning on the Hemingway statue at Pamplona, discussing the eternity of art in that Sardinian restaurant. Yes, and so, quite frankly, at the end of the day, they got old and died, okay, sure. But what matter does that have, in view of the 18 photo albums? Big ones, 13 inches by 12 inches each, full of such undeniable beauty.
My name is Brandon Lemus. The poem I'm doing today is After the War by Rachel Gallivan. For Joseph Flum. When he got into the farmhouse, he rifled through the cabinets, the drawers, the cupboards, and his buddies did too. The place was abandoned. Or so he thought. And his buddies did too. He tried to talk to the people in the town, and his buddies did too. But he was the only one whose Yiddish made it across into German. They took his meaning. He, in the farmhouse, took a camera and a gun. And his buddies? Who knows? About the gun, it's also hard to say. But after the war, he took up photography. Why not? And shot beautiful women for years. And got pretty good at it anyhow. Won prizes, engraved plates, put them in the drawer, forgot the war, forgot his buddies, forgot the women, and forgot the drawer.
Hi, my name is Daniel Picelli. I'm in 12th grade and I'll be reciting the poem Awakening in New York by Maya Angelou. Curtains forcing their will against the wind. Children sleep, exchanging dreams with seraphim. The city drags itself awake on subway straps. And I, an alarm, awaken as a rumor of war lies stretching into the dawn, unasked and unheeded. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Sophia Rivera. I'm in 12th grade and I will be performing Adam's Curse by William Butler Yeats. We sat together at one summer's end, that beautiful, mild woman, your old friend, and you and I, and talked of poetry. I said a line could take us hours maybe, but if it does not take a moment's thought, our stitching and unstitching has been naught. Better go down upon your marrow bones and scrub a kitchen pavement or break stones like an old pauper, in all kinds of weather. For to articulate sweet sounds together is to work harder than all of these, and yet be thought an idler by the noisy set of bankers, schoolmasters, and clergymen the martyrs call the world. And thereupon that beautiful mild woman, for whose sake there's many a one who shall find out all heartache on finding that her voice is sweet and low, replied, to be born a woman is to know, although they do not talk of it at school, that we must labor to be beautiful. I said, it's certain there's no fine thing since Adam's fall but need much laboring. There have been lovers who thought love should be so much compounded of high courtesy that they sigh and quote with learned looks precedents out of beautiful old books, yet now it seems an idle trade enough. We sat grown quiet at the name of love. We watched the last embers of daylight die, and in the trembling blue-green of the sky a moon, worn as if it had been a shell washed away by time's waters as they rose and fell about the stars and broke in days and years. I had a thought for no one's but your ears, that you were beautiful, and that I strove to love you in the old highway of love, and that it all seemed happy, but yet we'd grown as weary-hearted as that hollow moon. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Anya Tabor, grade 12, and I'll be reciting For Love by Robert Creeley, for Bobby. Yesterday, I wanted to speak of it, that sense above the others to me important because all that I know derives from what it teaches me. Today, what is it that is finally so helpless, different, despairs of its own statement, wants to turn away, endlessly to turn away. If the moon did not, no, if you did not, I wouldn't either, but what would I not do? What prevention, what thing so quickly stopped, that is, love, yesterday or tomorrow, not now? Can I eat what you give me? I have not earned it. Must I think of everything as earned? Now love also becomes a reward so remote from me, I have only made it with my mind. Here is tedium, despair, a painful sense of isolation, and whimsical, if pompous, self-regard. But that image is only of the mind's vague structure, vague to me because it is my own. Love, what do I think to say? I cannot say it. What have you become to ask? What have I made you into? Companion? Good company? Cross legs with skirt or soft body under the bones of the bed. Nothing says anything but that which it wishes would come true, fears what else might happen in some other place, some other time, not this one. A voice in my place, and echo of that only in yours. Let me stumble into not the confession, but the obsession I begin with now for you. Also, some time beyond place or place beyond time, no mind left to say anything at all. That face gone now. Into the company of love, it all returns.
Hi, my name is Erica Baptista, and the poem I'll be reciting today is Sonnet 29, When in Disgrace, with Fortune in Men's Eyes by William Shakespeare. When in disgrace, with fortune in men's eyes, I, all alone, beweep my outcast state, and trouble deaf heaven with my bootless cries. I look upon myself and curse my fate, wishing me to one more rich in hope, featured like him with friends possessed, desiring this man's art and that man's scope, with what I most enjoy, contented least. Yet, in these thoughts, myself, almost despising, apply I think on thee, and then my state, to which a lark at break of day, arising from sullen earth, sings hymns at heaven's gate. For thy sweet love remembers such wealth brings, that then I scorn to change my state with kings.